So one of the ways to profit greatly in the stock market is to catch the reversal of stocks. And how do we do that? Well, essentially, we want to try to get in when we see a reversal of a stock from like a downtrend. That means it has been pushing lower and lower, going down, down, down. And finally, there are some signs of strength coming back and it starts to reverse back up. So that is how and when we want to potentially start to position ourselves to ride that reversal, right? To ride the uptrend all the way up. And what is the pattern that we can look out for this reversal to actually happen? Hey guys, Joey here, top tier MyZelle, trader in Philip Securities, and in this video, I'll be sharing with you this very powerful pattern that I've been using for more than 10 years now to catch really strong reversal, alright? And this pattern is what we call a double bottom pattern, right? Double bottom pattern. So when you see a pattern like this, it might start to consolidate, prices are heading lower and lower, and we find a little bit of a bottom, and when we get a confirmation, alright, of a break of this key resistance level, that is where this pattern can complete and we can see the reversal happen. So let me just share with you guys on the whiteboard right over here before we look at some live case studies on some of the stocks whereby they show this pattern and what happened after showing this pattern. Let's go. So in a downtrend, a stock would trade something like this, right? You trade lower and lower, forming what we call lower highs and low. And somewhere along the line, we might get this little pattern forming right over here. So let me explain to you what is called this double bottom pattern. So as we hit lower and lower, you can see that we are forming lower highs. So it's pretty much in a downtrend. We can draw a downward sloping channel resistance line. But somewhere along the line, there's some buying pressure coming back and we find a pretty good support. That means prices does not hit lower, all right? It starts to stay the same and we see a couple of rebounds from this support level. So this is what we call a support level right here, whereby prices are starting to see strength, right? Buyers are coming back, it rebounds one time, two times, and it could even be three times as well. But in the case of a double bottom pattern, double means two times, right? So in the case of a double bottom pattern, it means it has rebounded two times. So one time, two times, all right? So two times it touches the bottom, this same price level, and it starts to rebound back up, right? So as it rebounds back up, the pattern actually has not completed yet, right over here. So we can draw what we call a resistance line right over here. So it's like one time, two time, and it starts rebounding all the way back up. So at this point in time, as it rebounded back up, we are not able to see whether the double bottom pattern has completed or it will start to push higher because it has not actually broke above this very key resistance level right over here. So only after breaking the resistance level, all right, it's kind of like a level whereby we have traded below for a couple of months or 6 months or a year and we touch two times, then that would be where we get the confirmation that this double bottom pattern has completed. Does it make sense? All right, because if you kind of like get in when we see the rebound right over here, well, it might also come back down again because we have not got the completion of the double bottom pattern and we have not broken this very key resistance level. So in a nutshell, that is what we call a double bottom pattern, which allows you to ride the reversal of the trend from like a downtrend, pushing lower and lower, consolidating sideways a little bit and starting to reverse back up. That's how you can ride massive uptrends right over here as it starts pushing higher. So that's where we can start to see an uptrend and how you can position yourselves to really maximize your profits as you ride the reversal, right? So this is a double bottom pattern. So in terms of a triple bottom pattern, well, that would be something similar. It just means that we touch this support line right over here three times, all right? So one time, two time, and then we might come back down here again, and then we start to see a rebound and eventually breaking that same resistance level that we have traded below for a couple of months. All right, so a double bottom, triple bottom, it could be a fifth bottom, all right, number of bottoms, but essentially it just means a little bit of a sideways consolidation whereby we are moving up and down in the very tight range between the support and the resistance. But in any case, we need to really break this key resistance level, all right? This level is key, right? This resistance is pretty much how we get the completion of the double bottom pattern, all right? So only when we break above it and we stay above this resistance level, that could be a sign of strength. That could be a sign of the reversal. And of course, we haven't talked about trend indicators and the moving averages and all that. But when we look at all this coming together with this pattern, well, that could really give a bit more confirmation that the uptrend is really starting to begin. Alright, so now that we have covered the basics of a double bottom pattern, or maybe even a triple bottom pattern, let's take a look at some live stocks, live case studies as to whether we can find these patterns and what can we potentially do or what to actually look out for to catch the reversal. Alright, so this is this stock right over here, stock code AMEH, alright, and you can see that we have been pretty much in the downtrend, right, forming what we call lower high. So it has got like lower and lower and lower right over here. So it's pretty much a downtrend over the past like 1-2 years, and then we started to see some support coming back. We found a little bit of support. So let me go ahead to draw what we call a support line right over here, somewhere around that 28 level. You can see started to see a bit of a rebound. All right, a couple of rebounds from here, about 2-3 times. Right, so this is something like a triple bottom because there's 1, 2, and 3 times, right? So 3 times triple bottom, 2 times double bottom. But the key here is that has the pattern completed? Has we actually broke above a very key resistance level to see it moving higher? Well, the answer is no, because we have still be consolidating. All right, we are still consolidating below this resistance level, and that would be the $40. So right now it is pretty much moving from a downtrend to a sideways trend as we swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down, swing up, and eventually hopefully breaking this key $40 resistance level. Remember, right, only when we break the key resistance level, that is where we get the completion of the pattern. That is where if we stay above, right, we can start to see more highs, right, higher highs and higher lows, or the uptrend actually forming, right? But if we stay below this 40, well, we could also come back down, and it's pretty much back to the same consolidation phase. All right, so only want to get in or to position yourselves in terms of the reversal when you see a break of this very key resistance level, all right over here. That could mean the start of the reversal. Another stock that have came into my watch list called LVS, Las Vegas Sands, right? So you can see that we have been pretty much in a downtrend, all right? We were trading over the past like 1 over year above this like $55, $60 level, and over the past few months we broke lower and we start to consolidate a little bit lower. So some signs of weakness as we traded lower, but we have found a support coming back. So this is like something like a double bottom, because look at this is one support here. We touched about 1 time, 2 times, and we are forming what we call a double bottom pattern that has not really completed yet. Can you see right over here, right? So we have traded lower, we found support somewhere around that $44 level, and this resistance would be that psychological $50. So the range is like $44 to $50, as I mentioned, right? And only if we were to break that 50 right over here, if we were to break that 50 level, great, that is where the double bottom pattern has completed, all right, and that's where we could really see the reversal happen. If not, if we continue to stay below 50, well, we might come back down again, as I say, and that could still be the same range, right? And maybe it could be a triple bottom, it could be a 5th bottom, all right, eventually breaking 50, well, then the reversal can happen. All right, so this is a stock that we, that you can watch as well. All right, double bottom pattern, not completed yet. All right, it is still forming, but let's see if it breaks that key resistance. Another case study that shows a double bottom pattern. It seems like it's still playing out, and in fact, we have gotten the completion of the double bottom pattern. So this is Choy, stock code CHWY. All right, I managed to find this stock. You can see that we have been consolidating above this support level right over here, around that $31, $30, but we broke down somewhere in August, and we sold all the way down as the downtrend continued, right, pushing lower and lower, 30 all the way to like $16, and we found some strength coming back. So we have found a little bit of a support, and it touched about 2 times, 1 time, 2 times right over here around that $16. So it's something like a double bottom, because as I say, we rebounded by about 2 times, right? So went all the way down, rebounded, swing back down, swing back up, and you can see right over here over the past week, we managed to break this resistance level. This is about that $22. It's a bit of a resistance whereby we were capped below for about 3 to 4 months, and finally over the past week we managed to break above it. So that is a sign of a completion of a double bottom pattern, and it could potentially start to see more upside, maybe all the way up to the next resistance level. So that is pretty much the same support level that we have broken down right over here around that $30. So that's where more upside can actually happen. So when you see a double bottom pattern, doesn't mean that wow, the moment it completes you'll start pushing higher and higher and higher and go up like nobody business, right? No, it might push up a little bit, it might consolidate, and it might hit a bit of resistance, and there could be some profit taking as well, and it might even push back down again if the support level does not hold. All right, but as long as we stay above this resistance here, so this level, the $22, will now turn into what we call a support. And as long as we stay above this 22, then this upside reversal looks good, right? In terms of the double bottom pattern forming, it still looks good. We might continue to push up slowly. All right, so this is Choy, CHWY code, whereby it has shown the double bottom pattern and it seems like it is still playing out. So that's how you can seek out patterns like this, catch the reversal, to ride it all the way back up. So there we have it, guys. That is pretty much the double bottom pattern. All right, it could be a triple bottom as well that you can try to find in stocks to potentially ride the reversal of stocks, right? So this is a whiteboard that we've done. We'll look at some live case studies as well. And if you want to find out a little bit more on how these patterns, it could be many patterns, but we don't normally care about all these names. Essentially, we have what we call a one good trend strategy, all right, whereby it allows us to time our entry to get in on specific stocks which are strong in an uptrend. It could be signs of reversal as well, and to really get in and out on these stocks to maximize our gains, and how we actually have a system to guide us as well on entry and exit. So if you want to find a bit more on how these patterns fit in with the entire one good trend strategy, you can attend one of those free webinars that we're running maybe next year, or I can click on the link below to be on my email list, download the free trend trading report, and once any webinars are ready, we'll email to you, we'll let you know, and you can attend these webinars to learn a bit more on the entire strategy. Alright, so Joey here. If you have found some value in this video, go ahead to give me a like, smash the subscribe button as well. That would be really useful, and thank you so much for doing that, right? So thank you so much for watching all the way here. Wishing you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and a good year for 2024. Take care.